Yo, what's up, family? This is Trayvon Jones, Conscious Talk Channel. Trayvon Jones, Conscious Talk Channel. Um, I know you guys all heard one of the main witnesses in the Amber Guyger shooting. Joshua Brown was murdered. He was murdered. Um, Joshua Brown was one of the main witnesses who testified against Amber Guyger. And, you know, basically, wow. He testified against Amber Guyger, and Amber Guyger, she lied. She said that she gave Botham John strict orders to comply. To put his hands up, and basically Joshua Brown said no, that's not what happened, along with other witnesses as well. It wasn't just Joshua Brown, but a lot of witnesses were afraid to come forward. They were afraid, but he was brave enough and courageous enough to come forward and to testify against Amber Guyger. And while he was testifying, he got emotional and started crying. He needed tissues, and that coon ass, ain't your mama judge was nice enough to go ahead and to have a break so that Joshua Brown can collect himself. Days after he testified against Amber Guyger and had her sentenced to murder, he was in his new apartment complex in the parking structure, and was shot several times and was found shot to death in his new apartment structure. Now, family, I don't even know what else to say. If we can't see what the fuck is going on, we can't see what's going on here with the racism and the hatred. This is definitely someone saying, fuck you, Joshua Brown, for testifying against one of our people. This white supremacy shit. This man was gunned down and shot today. And nobody, it's not on, it's not headline. You know what I mean? It's not, nobody's like really knowing what the fuck is going on like that, with this situation. Everybody's just sitting back and acting like this shit is just okay. Or people are not concerned. People are not making a big deal out of this situation. How you doing, K-Love? Hi. I'm upset right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just trying to get my people to understand and get my people to see what we go through in America. Everything is not fucking kumbaya, and everything is just not roses and love for Black people the way we all try to pretend that it is. We all keep our mouths closed. We all act as though nothing, like, oh, everything is okay. We all, love each other, and this is the great melting pot, and we all are Americans, and we love each other. Just like a Black man will get hung back in the day for whatever reasons they felt they wanted to hang his ass, and it wasn't just women. I mean, men. Women were getting hung, children were getting hung, burned up, set on fire. This is the history of America. Nothing has changed. A lot of it is disguised, but a lot of it is right in front of our faces. And we have been slaves in this country just for so long mentally, even after they took the chains off and stopped treating us the way that they were treating us. Mentally, we're destroyed. We are just mentally destroyed as a people, where we are not having a national outcry for what the fuck is still going on. And no, America was never great. Great for who? Great for who? America was, never great for Black people. so-called African American people, we constantly just being attacked. We have our heritage taken away from us, family. Do you know that's one of the biggest detriments that has happened to us in America, where they taken away our culture, they've taken away our heritage. We don't know who we are. We try to fit in with everyone else. We try to fit into everyone else's culture instead of having our own. And that was done on purpose. That's one of the methods that is used to be able to destroy a people. And you have to ask yourself, why would people counsel, other groups of people counsel together and come up with ways to destroy a group of people? And it wasn't just white people, or, it was all types of groups of people, different cultures of people who counseled and came together to keep us so-called African American and Black people destroyed and confused, and just have us going in different directions and have us hating on each other and fighting each other and not supporting each other. Because I cannot understand for the life of me why Botham John's life was just reduced to to a 10-year sentence. That's a fucking slap in the face. That is a total slap in the face to all Black people. And you think that's not a message, family? That's a message to us. And then on top of that, you had all these coon ass bitches getting up on there blatantly telling us, trying to tell us, forgive, love. This is something that we have always been conditioned to be. We're conditioned to be forgiving, don't rise up, don't get mad, just accept it. People always want to stick a fucking microphone in your face and say, do you forgive? Because they want to use those people that forgive to let all the other Black people know it's okay to forgive. It's okay. You can forgive. Even though we did you wrong, we know we keep, killing you, and we gonna continue to kill you, and we may try to be a little nicer to you, but you know, we need you to forgive. Enough of forgiving, family. Enough of forgiving. Fuck the fucking forgiving, because you see where it's getting us. And you have new generations of Black people, children, who don't know what the hell is going on. They don't, because we're not teaching our children our history. We think that we are all in a great melting pot and thinking that we can just, kumbaya. And the reality is we have, all these things that are against us. We have vaccines. We got people putting shit in our food and our water. It's just too much. Yeah, I did. I know exactly what you're talking about, K-Love. Yeah, the Black girl Kelly. Yeah, she did sound ignorant than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand, this is how we are taught to be. We're taught to be that way. We have this Stockholm syndrome thing going on. You know what I'm saying? We have this whole Stockholm syndrome thing going on, where we have been brainwashed to just forgive our oppressors, to forgive our enemies. People that are constantly showing us how the disdain that they have for us, the hatred that they have for us. And we just think that we can just, smooth things out with love. We as Black people, we think that we can just love our enemies and get them to change who they are. It has not happened. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And we need to stop doing that. We need to stop allowing our enemies and giving them false sense, giving them security that we love them, even though they keep showing us time and time again how much they hate us and how they treat us. This man is murdered and killed, and his mother is just devastated, family. His mother is devastated, and rightfully so. She should be devastated, because I'm sure she was afraid for her son's life. And we had a lot of cowards that would not testify, even though they knew it was wrong. But everybody got this hush, hush, let's be quiet, don't say anything. All this shit stems from slavery. Hush, Master can't hear you. Don't say nothing. Shh. We got to get out of that. We have to come to a place where we are unafraid to speak the truth, where we are making motherfuckers uncomfortable, because we have to start making people uncomfortable. We have to start, and that includes our own people who have the Stockholm syndrome, who want to love Whitey through murdering us, and and have this self-hatred where they don't see the value in their own stock, their own people. We have Black people who are not upset, who are not getting riled up because we've been taught that, oh, that's just another nigga. Even though we Black ourselves, we look at another Black person in disgust. We look at another Black person, oh, that's just a nigga. Oh, that's just, he ain't, eh. But we hold other groups of people in higher esteem. They were coddling this bitch, Amber Guyger, while she was on the fucking stand. You had Botham Jean's brother say, I don't know how many times, how much he loved her and how he didn't want her to go to prison. He wished that she didn't have to go to prison. And he ran and hugged her. All of this shit is symbolic, family. All of this shit is symbolic. It's to show the masses of us to forgive, even though that the people, the very group of people that hate you can murder you, rape you, murder your family, murder your mom, kill you, kill your children. But if you forgive, that Jesus is love, and he's all about forgiveness. Even though you have people that are constantly doing all these evil things to you, but Jesus is love, and we have to forgive. When are we gonna get out of that, family? When are we gonna get out of that fucking brainwashing? You have to understand there was a time when we were unable to read. We could not read. It was a law passed that we could not read. And if we were caught reading and writing, severe punishment would happen to us, if not death, simply because we were reading a book. It was mandated that we were not to be taught how to read, because everybody knows if you pick up a book, knowledge is power. You pick up a book, that's how you can get information. That's how you can get knowledge, because you know, white people, they like to put all the things that, everything that happens, they have documentation of every fucking thing that has happened. But a lot of Black people don't know anything about it because we don't like to pick up a book. What they say, if you want to hide anything from a Black man, all you got to do is put it in a book. If you want to hide anything from a Black man, just write it in a book. And a lot of times what historians do, and things like that, they'll write it in a book. They write all these things that have gone on throughout history in a book. They write everything down. You know what I'm saying? So that way, they can, keep all this information amongst themselves, because they want to have this information, but they want to keep it from you. Because if you knew how great you were and how important you were, if you knew that, we wouldn't be mentally fucked up the way that we are. We wouldn't be mentally enslaved the way that we are now if we knew that we can't, the stock that we come from. All these people that go out of their way to keep us closed-minded know how important we were, how we were the original people, beings of this world and land. They understand that. It's us as Black people who don't understand that. We just think, oh, we just live amongst, and we're all a great melting pot, and we have to conform to others' way of living, other people's way of living, other people's way of thinking, other people's way of doing things. We have our own laws, family. We have our own rules. We have our own thing that we should be doing that was given specifically to us from our forefathers and from from the Most High, and from things that we have that are for us. But what do? We want to conform to everybody else, and this is done on purpose to keep us from knowing who we are. Because if we come back to who we are, you know how powerful we can be. So they have to send out messages like this all the time to keep us docile, to keep us afraid, and to keep us quiet. Because this could spark a serious outcry, but we are so afraid, family. Black people are so afraid to speak out. You know, I can remember years ago, I was talking to a family member of mine who's a coon, I mean, they just want to fit in American society, and and well, I'm a Republican, and I'm a Dem, and all this bullshit, and all, I mean, they just really think that this shit is about them. You know what I'm saying? You know, but we were having a serious conversation years ago, you know, and they were just upset with me, and and why you don't vote, and why you don't participate, and and the things that your ancestors died for, and I'm explaining to this loved one that shit ain't for us. We're not supposed to be going out there voting. It's not for us. That's not something that we're supposed to be doing, you know. And you could not make this my family member understand or believe, you know, that you're wrong. And I'm trying to explain, our history, who we are as a people, the things that are set up for us to be able to do and to have. And he wasn't trying to hear none of that. Wasn't trying to hear any of those things. And I'm like, all right, I get it. And and you're right. Why continue once you've put it out on the table? If people are going to receive it, they're going to receive it. And if they're not going to receive it, you know what you're supposed to do? Shake the dust off your feet and keep it pushing and keep it moving. That's what we're supposed to do, family. We can't continue to try to, tell people who don't want to listen. And that includes family members. That includes them. You know what I mean? And I love my family. You know what I mean? And I love this particular family member who's deceased now. But but that way of teaching, and that just the way we have been taught throughout society. I mean, just through through generation and through generation, we are constantly taught to be docile and to just and just yes, massa. Even though they was up there beating Toby, Kunta, they had him tied the fuck up and beating the fuck out of him. And you had the slave master over here saying, look, your name is not fucking Kunta. Your name is Toby. And when master gives you a name, you accept it and you take it. And you have all those other black people out there watching while Kunta was being beaten almost to death. And he was refusing. No, my name is Kunta. My name is Kunta. But he finally broke. And all those black women and all those black men were out there. And it was a small part of them, even though they knew what was going on with him, it was a small part of them that was hoping that he didn't break. That was hoping that he just continued to fight. But at the same time, you over here saying, oh my God, they're going to kill this man dead. Stop. Stop. You know what I mean? Like, just give up. You know what I mean? Just, give up because they're going to kill you. Sometimes you got to die for what's right. And that's what Joshua Brown taught us. Now, he was in fear. He was afraid, but he didn't have any support from his own community, his own people. We were not there for him, supporting him. He was afraid, and he was alone, and he was able to be gunned down, and there is no national outcry from our people. I'm not expecting an outcry from other groups of people. I'm just not expecting it. And it's really hard to expect it from my people who, a large percentage of my people who are brainwashed in American culture and think that they're like everybody else. And they're just not. We are just not. And we are shown time and time again that you need to stay in your place. You need to stay in your place. This young man, was an entrepreneur. He had, and it, it's just funny to me how, while he was testifying in the Amber Guyger case, Joshua Brown, he was testifying how, you had the prosecutors out here, asking him about his history with the police. And has he ever, gone to prison or jail? And, has he ever had any run-ins with the law? Like that has anything to do with what the fuck I saw and what the fuck I saw this murderer do to an innocent black man. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? But they will drag you and act like, man, I'm so disgusted. And on so many levels, family. K-Love, I am just so disgusted with the state of our people because nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. Just like we would get our people hung, killed, beat, and you still got the people, our people just still just going on with like, oh well, for Chicken George, I mean, he was killed, but this don't last always. Heaven lasts always. We gotta just endure this for right now, but heaven lasts always. This is the bullshit that we're constantly told. This is the fucking bullshit that we are constantly told. And you have our women who are separating themselves from us because this whole movement going on right now where women are just basically just saying fuck men, and you have this one, YouTuber who is a big advocate for women, you know, she is a big advocate for black, quote unquote, black unity and all these type of things. But in my humble opinion, she's leading people astray, you know, because she's talking about us Hebrew Israelites and all that kind of stuff, and how we're just basically Christians, but we just changed, just make Jesus black instead of white, and all these type of things. But this motherfucker up here putting skulls and shit on fucking in her room on altars and shit, praying to dead ancestors and shit like that. When clearly we're not supposed to be praying to dead. The dead is dead. They're dead. You're praying to them, but you have people like this, who are in our families, in the black community, who are feeding our women these type of things, telling them to put a damn skull and pray to the ancestors and things like that. No, that's not the answer. That is definitely not the answer. But I will say this: us being docile and just being quiet and just sugarfooting it, like like that fucking judge Tammy Kent. I mean, if she wasn't an ancient mama coon, I don't know what else. I don't even know what else to say. That was one of the cooningest bitches. How do you give your Bible to a murderer? And I'm sure she's been a judge for a lot of years. I'm sure she has sentenced lots of black people to do time. I'm sure of it. You got the fucking deputy, a black female, over here stroking Amber Guyger's hair to let her know it's gonna be okay, Amber. It's okay. Calm down. Do any of these black people do this for black convicts and people that come in? Do we comfort each other? Do we do that? You know, we don't do that for our own family. As a matter of fact, people would probably be looking at us like we crazy if we over here comforting, one of our people who just murdered a slew of motherfuckers. People be looking at us like, especially if one of our people murdered a white person or something like that, they'd be ready to motherfucking shoot us dead and kill us in the fucking street for comforting, one of our people who murdered, you know, someone, especially if it was a white person. But our people can go ahead. We are so destroyed as a people, family. I mean, I can't tell you how destroyed mentally we are to be reduced to that, where we will comfort a murderer who killed someone who looks like you. That is mind-boggling to me, family. Oh wow, Al Sharpton is is doing what now? Oh God, not another march. See, this is how serious it's getting. See, whenever black people are getting riled up, we gotta bring out the coons, the people that to keep calm the black people down, like the Al Sharptons and the Jesse Jacksons and the Maxine Waters, and oh, we need you to go out there and calm those black people down again. That's typical. That's nothing new. That's nothing new, Stump Down. This is something that has been going on from, from the Martin Luther King era, all of that. You know what I'm saying? All of this has been going on from that time frame. You know what I'm saying? Where, just calm them down, keep docile, tell them we have to vote, we have to get, better people in office, and, and demand, these things. We have to get, someone who's going to fight for us. You know, the definition of insanity, family, is when you're repeating the same thing over and over again. You're doing the same thing over and over again, and you're expecting a different result each time that you do the same thing over and over again. You're expecting a different result. You keep getting the same result, which is nothing. But you keep doing the same thing, marching, expecting that things are going to change. That's insane, family. That's insanity. When are we going to stop having Stockholm syndrome? And when are we going to stop being insane, family? And when are we going to let these people know that we can't we can't continue to put up with this? We can't continue to support a system who constantly kills us in the street. We can't do that. We can't be spending our money and and all these type of things. We can't do that. And Christianity is holding us back. You have to understand the Bible is our book. How about that? They use our book to control us. The Bible is our history book, family. You know what I'm saying? It's not a religion, it's our history book. And they use it to control us. They had what you call a slave Bible. Where they would take things from the scriptures and they would add to them. There was a lot of things that were taken out, but they would keep things in it, like slaves obey your master and things like that. They would keep things like that, in the Bible to keep us docile, and keep us, confused and shit like that. And when you have, the white preacher coming in telling you, hey, you have to, be a good slave, don't rise up, you have to stay humbled. Don't fight back. And think about this for a minute. What God do you know that will tell their people to not fight back when they're being constantly killed and attacked, other than Christianity? What other religion? Please let me know. Please let me know. And this religion, Christianity, is taught to you, to us, by the very people who are killing us. In slavery, when we would have quote unquote church, and we would, and congregate together, in church. Do you know we had an overseer that would come in, a white man or or a white woman, whoever would come in, an overseer would come in to see that things were going smoothly. Okay, you teaching that Bible the way that we taught you to teach it. You know, don't go changing and teaching these people that you are the people of this Bible, that you are the Israelites. Don't you go teaching them that and how powerful you really are. Don't do that. Teach them that this is you have to endure these things. You have to be a slave, but when you die, you're gonna go to heaven, and then you'll be able to live in that beautiful sky, and you're gonna be able to be in the bosom of God forever and love. But right now, while you're on earth, you have to endure these things. When are we gonna wake up from that, family? When are we gonna fucking wake up from that shit? I mean, it's fucking mind-boggling to me that we even to this day, we are still fucking in a state of confusion. And it's all due to Christianity and love, love, love. And we will attack our own when we are saying the real and saying, look, how we getting treated in this fucking country, how we are tired of fucking being murdered. You got Al Sharpton's and Jesse Jackson's coming out saying, no, no, my people, we have to calm down. We don't need no Malcolm X's. Now, I wasn't a Malcolm X, fan like that, but Malcolm X he wasn't, trying to be docile and shit. Yo, he's like, yo, we need the motherfucking, he was explaining, the root and the plight of what white people have done systematically to us for hundreds of years in this country, and how the Negro in this country was made. Do you know that we were made in this country? We weren't just Negroes. And words have meanings, family. Do you know that the word Negro, if you do the research of word and you get the definition of that word Negro, it means dead. It means dead. That's why this name was placed on us, the dead people. We were considered the dead people, just to be used as slaves because because the hatred of us is real, family, because we are such a powerful people. We are a powerful ass people. And, in order for other people to be able to reign, they have to keep us down and docile and confused and fucked up. So they put place that on us, and where they would have slave auctions and things like that. They have signs up even till this until this day that was saying, if you read those signs, it will say, you know, the Negroes. This is where they were sold. This is where they were sold, the Negroes, and that name was placed on us, and it means dead. And there's a reason why they gave us that name, Negro. We need to start reading and doing our homework, family. You know, because you have a group of people giving us all these names, and then our names keep constantly changing. African American, black, Negro, colored. I mean, our names just keep constantly changing over and over again when we're the original beings of this world. Nothing could happen correctly. Life could not even go on or exist if it wasn't for us melanated people. Do you know that we are the light of the world, family? So-called African American people are the light of the world. We are what make everything thrive. But instead of these evil ass entities appreciating, what we give to the world and give to people, they don't appreciate it, and they're spiteful and jealous and hateful of it, and want to keep us, fucked up. But they still need our energy. They still need our energy. But how dare you be a special and perfect people? Fuck you. But we still need you though. We still need your energy. Black people have contributed to everything that is good. Y'all know a black man was the one who created the cell phone. Did y'all know that? When you driving in your car and you stop at that stoplight, that was a black person who invented that. We weren't reduced to just fucking peanut butter, making peanut butter out of fucking peanuts. Like, you know, um, George Washington Carver. He's just known for peanuts. This man was a great inventor. This man, I want you guys, family, I want you guys, when you in your spare time, to look up George Washington Carver and read about him. Read it, so you can see the greatness that he was, and how he was castrated as a child. He was raised by a white family. The white family castrated him, because they didn't want him around their daughter, because they didn't want him to rape their daughter and stuff like that. But they needed a little slave boy, a docile little slave boy, to do things for them, to fetch and shit like that. So when white people are over here adopting black children and all that kind of shit, they need slaves. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not buying that shit at all. When you got white people just over here adopting black children and shit, that shit don't look right to me. You know what I'm saying? But they did that to George Washington Carver, and he was raised, but the man was brilliant. When you're castrated and your balls and your testicles are cut off, he spoke with a high pitched voice. He sounded like a woman when he spoke, because his testosterone, he was cut off. You know what I'm saying? So he spoke with a high pitched ass voice, but the man was brilliant. He done so much for American culture, but what do white people do? They'll take your inventions, patent them, you know, and they will put their name and slap their name on that shit, and you don't get any credit for it. You will never get any credit for it. There was a black woman, I can't think of her name, and I need to come up with that name, but it was a black woman who wrote for Saturday Night Live back in the day. She was one of the writers for Saturday Night Live, but she was not credited for being a writer. They did not credit her as being a writer. She was just placed, oh yeah, she just, help, whatever. They just put her in a category of, I'm just gonna use what your brain, but I'm gonna pay you this one time. I'm just gonna give you this one time money, and then that's it. But a lot of the writers, even until this day, that was actually signed as writers, they're still getting paid to this day. They're dead and gone, but their sons and their daughters and their grandchildren are still getting checks from the shit that this black woman helped contributed to. But that black woman's family ain't getting a dime. She was paid already. She was paid that one time, for writing all those jokes and shit like that. But this is the injustice that keeps going on with us. We are not valued. We are used. We created all these things for medical, studies. We are the ones who created these things. We're the ones who they use to get the information from, and then all of a sudden, you know, the patent is taken away from you, or you end up dead, and nobody knows nothing. Joshua Brown was an entrepreneur. The guy in the Botham Jeans murder case who got up on the stand and basically helped to put Amber Guyger away. He was an entrepreneur. Now, if he was a nigga, nobody would have took him seriously, and he probably would even ended up dead. You know what I'm saying? He's just a typical nigga. You know what I mean? Whatever. He'll kill himself, or he'll be in prison or jail. But he was smart. He was college educated. He was an entrepreneur. They want to advertise us as just being niggas and spicks and ignorant, and we just we don't have a culture, and we're just savages. But when you are doing something positive and not fitting in the mold and the norm of what people think black people should be in, they will kill you. A lot of those black people back in the day that were hung on trees, that were killed, their families were all hung, their sons and their wife, and they're all hung, and people would find them hung. And then they have to take them down, so that they can give them a proper burial. A lot of these black people were business owners. They weren't just slaves or, downtrodden and, all fucked up and, shuffling behind master. They owned their own. They had their own acres of land. They had their own, their sharecroppers and things like that. And they were doing and making more money and doing better things than a lot of those white people who needed those slaves at the time. But then when we were quote unquote set free, it's like, okay, now what are these white people are going to do? Because white people are not strong like that, family. They cannot go out in the field and pick cotton and pick fruit, and their bodies are not made that way. They will get skin cancer and they will die. So they need us to do it. They need us to do it. They are just not made that way. They will die if they have to go out in the heat and be out there, So but this is what this is their culture. This is what they do. They steal, they kill, they destroy, they jack. They are swagger fucking jackers. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. That's what they do. And we need to understand that. This boy, Joshua Brown, was murdered. Not because he was, some ignorant ass motherfucker, but because he was strong enough and he wasn't afraid. And he went out and he stood there and he testified. I mean, even though we were able to put Amber Guyger away and his testimony helped to put her away, we still didn't get any justice because the bitch only got 10 years and she's not going to even do all of that, more than likely. You know what I'm saying? But his life was reduced. Botham Jean's life was just reduced to a fucking 10-year sentence. And now we have Joshua Brown, who was murdered. No one knows who did it. They just saw a gray car, driving off at high speeds or something like that, and drove off after shooting the man several times and killing him. This is constantly going on in history because you have a bunch of hateful individuals who do not want to see black people prospering and doing better than them. We can go on and on and on about the injustice that has gone on with us. We had a Black Wall Street, family, at one time. Look that up. We at one time had, in the early 1900s, we had a Black Wall Street where you had fucking cave dwelling savage ass beasts who, within a 12-hour period, burned all that we accomplished down in the streets. And then they actually called in, the armies and things like that to help to finish us off. And we were robbed. A lot of the things that we had in our homes, we had pianos, we had, nice things, and we had businesses. We had a lot of these things were robbed and taken from us and burnt down. We had it going on, family. We had our own bus stations. We had our own, grocery stores. We had our own airlines. We had it going on. See, we're constantly taught that we don't have anything. We were nothing. We just, stem from slavery. And this is where whenever even in school, when we're teaching our children, our history, Black history, starts from slavery. That's where it starts from, not before that. And even the great inventions that we have done while in slavery and quote unquote after slavery, some white person is taking the credit for. Now, I love my Jack Daniels. It's Sunday today, and I'm gonna sip on some Jack Daniels, y'all. You know, well, Jack is a white man, but that brew that he got in that glass was made by a black man, though. Jack just stole it. He stole that recipe from this black man, probably just paid him a little money or nothing at all, especially if he was a slave. Slaves are property. So your inventions, whatever it is that you create, belongs to me. I own you. So, you don't get any money, boy. You just better be glad that I'm feeding you and your motherfucking family. And that I'm letting you have some clothes and I'm letting you, eat and I ain't beating and whipping your ass every goddamn day. Yes, massa. You can have my idea, boss. Yeah, that's right, K-Love. They called in the military. They sure did to shut us down. You had low class white people who came in from the other side of the cities, who came into our cities and started shooting us. Black people that they would see on sight, they just started shooting and killing us. And then you had the military come in to they lie. You know how white people lie. You know they'll sit up there and say some shit like, "Oh, black people are losing control," even though these were the savages and the people that were losing control. They called in the military to come finish us off and start blowing up our towns. This is what happened to us, family. We need to talk about these things. We need to talk about these things and we need to tell these things to our children. We too busy kumbaya and teaching our children about shoes and cars and the new games and fitting in white society and white supremacy and trying to fit in when we need to be telling them about our history and who we are as a people. That's what and again, I always say, I am not one of those ones who's trying to quote unquote start a race war. I just want my family to wake up and see the real of what the fuck is going on. That's all. And stop allowing this shit to happen. And to stop being excuse me, family. Excuse me. And stop being so damn docile and closed-minded and acting like none of these things exist. Like nothing's bad is happening to us. And when we talk about it, we have our own people over here. Shh, stop talking. Don't say nothing. They's gonna kill you. So what? So what? When are we gonna stand up for who the fuck we are? When are we going to stand up? When are we going to say enough is enough? When you have the enemy constantly trying to keep you controlled and docile, that has to speak volumes to you. That has to speak volumes to you, family. We have to be able to be strong and brave. And what's sad to me is that we have our women being placed in the forefront. And all of this shit stems from slavery. Our roles have been reversed. The men are to be docile, mentally weak, but physically strong. And this is the thing that a lot of our women have continued to teach our young boys. They teach their young girls how to be mentally strong, you know, and to be demanding and talk over a man and just be the boss, and shit like that. You know, all this shit was stemmed from slavery, all of it. And it's still going on until this day. You had women out there angry after Amber Guyger only got 10 years. They were pissed off and were yelling, cussing, and just pissed. I didn't see no men out there. I didn't see no men out there. Those black women had every right to be angry, and they should have been angry, and they should have been out there screaming and yelling. But my thing is, where are the men? We are we are so destroyed. Our black men are just weak. We toughen up when it comes to want to kill each other over some shoes, or are you looking at me funny, and don't be looking at me crazy, or you trying to talk to my bitch, and da 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 da. But where it counts, we won't stand up. Where it really counts, we're not standing up. We're not standing up at all. We're not holding people accountable for the wrong that they do. We're not holding our own people accountable for selling drugs to our people. We're not holding our own people accountable for abusing and manipulating our children and hurting us. We're not holding people accountable, and we should. We should be able to do that. But when you're talking about black people and the other day I went to go put some get some speakers put in my car, and you know and I love black owned businesses. I just happened to just be passing by, and I saw, I said, oh shit, the black owned, and I needed some new speakers anyway for my car. You know what I'm saying? And so I went there, to have the speakers put in, and I love to support black businesses. You know, I'll go wherever, I'll go to other places too if I need to, if there's just no other options. You know what I'm saying? But I seek out black owned businesses first, family. I go out of my way to do that. Not that all black people deserve my damn money. You know what I mean? But I know for sure none of them other motherfucking races deserve my motherfucking money. I know that for sure. You know what I'm saying? But I do go out of my way to, seek out black people who are entrepreneurs doing their thing. You know, but the point I'm trying to make with this story is that it was like a family type business. You had other black people that were coming there just to go visit the guy that owned the business, and I thought that was beautiful. You know what I mean? But we are so destroyed as a people because a lot of them were talking about what set they were from, and the gangs that they're in, and and this is a big thing, and for us, you know what I mean, this is a big thing for us where we are glorifying even to this day what set we're from, and and things like of this nature, and I'm just looking at and I'm listening on this on the side, like, wow, you know what I mean, and how this one black dude was talking about how he had to go loke up on somebody because his homegirl called him and was like, yo, this nigga tripping, and he from this set and this set, so you need to come down here. And this motherfucker actually went up there and started raising hell and going off. He brought his crew there, and I'm like, wow. Hmm. Where's the unity? You know what I mean? We have to stop doing that. And we need to start sticking up for our people where it counts. If we see one of our black men selling drugs to other black people, why, as men in our community, why can't we stand up to that? Because we're afraid that we're going to be, shot and killed. Well, when you're in a gang and all this kind of shit, you're not afraid. You know you can possibly be shot and killed. To me, those are the type of men that I'm looking for. Those are the ones that I feel as though we need. We need to support those that don't have any direction, don't mind fucking dying. They have no fucking hope. You know what I'm saying? They just have been destroyed, and they feel like they need a family, this gang family, to feel whole and to feel like they're loved. A lot of times our people get into gangs because they feel like they need a form of protection. They want to feel like somebody is there for them and things like that. But we should be doing that for our people, family. It doesn't take a gang. We should just be doing that for our families and for our people and protecting our people. And when we see one of our people doing some shit out of line, we as a group and men, we need to come forward and say, hey, yo, Tyrone, you know, we know you slapped your woman. You know what I mean? Well, you ain't gonna be able to do that again. You slap your woman again like that. You beat that woman and you were wrong. You do that to her again, we're gonna break your motherfucking arm. You understand? We love you. But no, you can't continue selling drugs over here, not in this area, motherfucker. You can't continue selling drugs over here. But we have this, shh, don't say nothing. That ain't none of your business. Don't talk. And if you do say something, you'll be, targeted, basically. That type of mindset, that's fucked up. That's a fucked up type of mindset that we have, family, where we can't even, do what's right. We're told to be quiet. You know, when all that shit is gonna do, you all you're doing is killing your people. You're killing your people, and you making a little bit of money, and the white man is glad. White supremacy is glad because they're killing two birds with one stone. So not only are you helping to kill your own people, but now, after you've did all this damage, now we can come and kill you, or put you in prison for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? 10, 11 years, 15 years for just selling drugs to people. I mean, you are a murderer. You are definitely a murderer. You know, but you're killing people slowly. You know what I mean? But a bitch like Amber Guyger can get some sympathy. She can actually murder a motherfucker in his own fucking apartment and get sympathy. Thank you, sis. Kizzy, yes, from Roots. She says, I've been listening and cleaning up my house, and I agree with you, brother. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. And thank you for, checking me out. I appreciate that. Thank you for the love. And, sis, these are just conversations that we need to be able to have with our family. See, right now, what I'm doing is having a conversation with my family. And I think that people like K-Love, you guys are my family. And this is how we need to treat each other. This is how we need to treat each other. And this is just a way and a form of a way for us to be able to, congregate, for us to, to be able to have conversations that are needed. Because it ain't nothing like black people getting together, because you have to understand, after we were quote unquote free from slavery, which we weren't free from fucking slavery, but there was laws passed that you had to have a job. You could not be out in public talking loud. You know what I mean? You could not, be congregating and, together with other groups of black people. You notice how if you go into quote unquote white neighborhoods, you go into a white neighborhood and it's late at night, it could be the weekend, you see white people standing out all the time. In their neighborhoods, they have all type of entertainment. They have, bars, and they have, little nightclubs that they can go to. And, a lot of times they'll walk to these, establishments in groups and things of that nature. They'll be standing around. Nobody bats an eye. No one gives it a second thought, second look. It's normal behavior. No one is sitting up there thinking, gee, why are all those white people congregating together? What the fuck are they up to? Nobody thinks that. We just see a bunch of people having a good time out. right? But let's be honest, family. When you see a bunch of black people standing out together, even our own people, come on, y'all. When you see a bunch of black people congregated together, maybe smoking a blunt or whatever, what's the first thing that you think? What's the first thing you think, family? We have been brainwashed to think negative, even against our own fucking people. We thinking that them niggas is up to no good. Why the fuck are they congregating together? This stems from history. This comes from history. This was a law passed that you cannot be a black person all together, talking together, because white people were afraid of black people coming together and smoking weed and getting those brains to going, and getting those brains to thinking and talking and, coming up with ways to get out of this fucking oppression. Keep them separate from each other. Keep them separate. Even on the job, even today, even in 2019, even on the job, I can be talking to a black person. Do you know that the supervisor will come up and interrupt that? They don't really fuck with me too much, you know what I'm saying? Because they know I ain't gonna put up with that bullshit. But they'll go and interrupt that black woman that I'm talking to. Oh, can you go, check on your patient, or can you go, do this, do that? They'll stop it. They don't like that shit. They don't. It's just in them to break up black people when we are congregating and we are talking, we are together. That is a taught behavior. And that was a law back in the day, y'all. And we keep it going. And we don't even realize that's what we're doing, family, a lot of times. We as black people don't, white people know exactly what they're doing. And even if they don't know, they've been taught that. That's why I'm saying you are your fucking forefathers. So while you got black people talking about, oh, well, she's not like that. Her grandparents were like that, but she's not like that. She was raised by the same motherfuckers that raised her parents and her parents raised them and so on and so on. That mentality is still there. Don't tell me that it's not. It's still there. It's just changed. Instead of them blatantly calling you niggers now, they are strategically doing shit, to red tape you, redline you, and all that kind of shit. But yeah, we could not communicate with each other. And even to this day, we're unable to communicate with each other. Yes, Kizzy. Yes, from roots. Yeah, that's right. It takes all of us. See, family, and I say this all the time. And if you check out a lot of my other videos and things like that, you know my stance on how I think and things like that. But yes, it does take a village. A lot of times as black people, we'll think, oh, I can do it on my own, and that's the thing that a lot of our black women um, tend to think. I can do it on my own. I don't need a man. I don't need, and that's wonderful. And I'm not saying that, women shouldn't be, in control and powerful, you know what I mean? And things like that. You should be able to do what you want to do. You should be able to, if you want that education, you want to do what you need to do, I say do it. And it's beautiful that you're able to empower yourselves. And in today's society, a lot of our women are the ones making the money. You know what I mean? And getting those college degrees and education. And, black women, our black women now are some of the highest educated people. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I think that that's wonderful. You know, but when we over here brainwashing ourselves, thinking that we don't need anybody but ourselves, I can do it all on my own. Mm-mm. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The wolf is the pack. You can have one lion, and everybody knows how powerful lions are. You know, lions are powerful. But if you have one lion out there with a bunch of hyenas, what you think gonna happen to that lion? But when you have lions that come in a pack, it can be more hyenas than the lions. But if you got 5 lions and 20 fucking hyenas or 40 hyenas, those hyenas ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing to those lions. Those hyenas are gonna jump back. They're gonna jump back. But when they see your ass out there by yourself, you're easy prey. Ain't that what Satan does? He going out seeking who he can devour. He likes to find that one person that's by themselves. You know, he likes to find those people that are by themselves so he can devour you. Because when you are not congregating with your people and you guys are not sharing thoughts and you are in your own way of thinking and you are isolating yourself from other people and you are a loner, and these things are not good. You are supposed to congregate with like-minded individuals and with people like you. That's natural and that's human nature. And we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to be together. But when we're saying, I don't need a woman and I don't need a man and I can do it on my own, and I don't, that's wrong. And when you are, a black person who's saying, I don't need other black people. I'm an American. We are all one melting pot, all of us together. The blacks, the Latinos, the whites, the Asians, we're all the same. We're all Americans. Well, that sounds beautiful. That sounds wonderful. But every other culture knows, yeah, we're all Americans, but I'm going to rally and be for my own individual people. So a lot of times when we're working with all these Filipinos on the job and Africans on the job and shit like that, you know, we be feeling some kind of way because they going to take care of their own first. But we have been taught as black people to love everybody. We're all the same in America. We're all Americans. We should, there's no favoritism, or there shouldn't be any favoritism. Right is right and wrong is wrong, right? That's wrong. Yes, we're moral and we're taught to be moral. That's why when they're always trying to, to say, that black people are bad and we're this and that, we are some of the best people on this earth. Okay. And a lot of us are good people. Let's just get that straight. You know what I mean? And they keep us that way. A lot of us are good people and they keep us that way on purpose. You know what I'm saying? They do that shit on purpose. But they'll say that we're savages, we're bad, we're this, we're that, you know. But the reality is we're some of the, some of the best people, because we think that all we have to do is just love, the hate away, and everything is going to be okay. And we are all Americans, and and fair is fair, and we will go against our own, to say, no, no, she's right, and and you're wrong, brother, you wrong. Protect another group of people before we protect our own. But other people don't look at it like that. You can be right as can be as a black person, and you can say something to another race and be right. But all those other people that come from that race that you just went off on, they gonna all hate you. They gonna all have a problem with you. They're not gonna be going this around talking about, yeah, you was right. You know what I mean? And they were wrong. Even though they know that their people were wrong, it's two left shoes. They're still gonna support their own anyway. And they're gonna turn on you. And now they got an attitude and a problem with you, even though you're right. But we as black people, we'll sit up here and turn on our own and say, no, brother, you was wrong. You was wrong. Now I can't tell you how many times that I've seen my people, they were wrong, on certain situations and things like that. And I will pull their asses to the side and say, brother, sis, no, you was wrong for that. But I'm not getting ready to give no other culture the satisfaction of dissing my own in front of them. I'm just not going to do that. I am not going to do that. And we need to stop doing that fucking shit. You know what I mean? You know, look, sis, you know you was wrong for what you did. You know what I'm saying? We can have a conversation on the side, but I'm not getting ready to front you off in front of some other nationalities and belittle you and put you down. No, sir. And especially if you're right, I'm certainly not gonna put you down. You know what I'm saying? And belittle you in front of other nationalities of people. No way. Because other nationalities, they look at you like, like, see, look, even your own black person is talking against you. You're helping, making them feel better about themselves and saying, damn, look how destroyed these black people are. They over here turning against each other. They won't even support each other, even though they're right. But I mean, even though, they won't even support each other, because we want to be morally right, because it is taught to us from slavery and on to just be fucking coons and to love master and to be fucking slaves. And I'm sorry, we got to get out of that slave ass mentality. We have to get out of it, family. Get out of that fucking way of thinking, because other groups are looking at us and laughing at us. And like I said, when I'm working and I'm going to work and I'm seeing, all these different groups of people migrating together and talking together, like a lot of these Filipinos and shit, they over there talking in their language, and but then some of them get mad at the Mexicans talking about, oh, the Mexicans are always talking in Spanish. And it's like, well, shit, bitch. Can you imagine how the fuck I feel? I'm getting it from all these fucking directions. I got fucking Filipinos over here talking Tagalog all up in this fucking ear. Then I got all the Latinos over here in this fucking ear talking in Spanish and shit. And heaven forbid if I get some Africans talking, now they talking in their fucking languages. And it's like, oh, good God. You know what I'm saying? But nobody can hear my motherfucking cry though. It's like, so don't come complaining to me talking about how, the Mexicans are talking in their language, but your motherfucking ass is over here talking in your language. Yeah, sis, we are fucking programmed. And how we get out is doing exactly what the fuck we doing right now. That's how we're congregating together and going out of your way to congregate with your people. It's not easy. Do you think that it's easy for me, sis? Yes, from Roots. Do you think it's easy for me, sis, to get up on here, and to talk to my people? As much as I love talking to my people, when I tell you Trayvon loves his people, and Trayvon is going to be a black advocate to the day he leaves this earth. You hear me? But it's difficult sometimes when I have to deal with coons. When I have videos that I'm making and I have to deal with black people that are sitting up here talking against me and telling me how racist I am and how I shouldn't be that way and how Jesus is love and I should be forgiven. I can't tell you how I want to punch that motherfucker in the back of their motherfucking throat. Not the front, but the back of their motherfucking throat. Or clunk them upside their motherfucking head into the white meat show. That's what I would like to do. Yes, from Roots. But I have to be patient. We have to be patient, family. We have to be patient and we have to love our people through this. And we have to be strong, we have to be stern, and we have to continue to talk. And it's people like you and my girl K Love and Temptations, hey, beautiful, how you doing? It's people like y'all that help. And I appreciate you guys because you all are just willing to listen. You may not agree with everything that I'm saying, or whatever the situation is, but you're willing to listen. We're willing to have a conversation. This is how we started. But if we're thinking that we all are just one people and we just all are, one great melting pot, and and right is wrong, and we're going to be fair and justice for all, but everybody's not following that. And clearly we can see that with the whole Botham John situation. There's no fair and justice for all. We got the fucking short end of the motherfucking stick. Now, Joshua Brown, one of the beautiful black men who testified against Amber Guyger, brave black man, brave, ends up shot and killed. And everybody was talking about him. I was online and I'm seeing people talking about him. So why doesn't he have a suit on? Why did he come in, wearing, shorts and a shirt? And why the fuck he come into court looking like that? I wouldn't have gave a goddamn if the motherfucker came in a goddamn robe with a fucking tube socks on, with a motherfucking beanie on his head. I wouldn't give a damn. Come in here and testify against this cave dwelling bitch. He did that. That's strong and that's brave. Now he lost his life, but I'm gonna light a candle tonight for that brother. And I'm gonna set that motherfucker up and I'm gonna light a candle for that brother. And I'm gonna need y'all to do the same motherfucking thing. Light a candle for Joshua Brown tonight to let him know that we love him and we thank him for what he did. And he lost his life for standing up. But you had some person who said, you brave motherfucker, you want to talk against us, huh? Bang, bang. That's supposed to be a lesson to all of us, family. That's supposed to be a lesson to us. We're supposed to continue to stay in our docile state and scared state, shh, don't say nothing. Master might hear you. Shh. We still on that bullshit, family. And when some of us are breaking out of that to help push it, they ended up killing Joshua Brown. They ended up murdering him. And no one knows anything. No one saw anything. They saw a gray car driving off, and that's about it. But that's okay, because he did not die in vain. And so we're going to light a candle for him tonight, Joshua Brown. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to remember this young man, because, hey, if we didn't have people like Rosa Parks, and all these Black people who stood up for us, which, Rosa Parks, bless her heart, she was not the only one who said, no, I'm not going to sit in the back of the bus. I've been working all motherfucking day. Now we have to understand Rosa Parks, even though she was in a struggle like every other Black person at that time, and even now, Rosa Parks was an educated Black woman. Rosa Parks had a good job. She was married. She had a husband, who had money. He was doing his thing. She was, a Black woman who, had it going on, basically. Well, years prior to that, there was a young Black girl. Can't think of her name, and I'm so sorry, family. But young Black girl who was a pregnant teenager. Well, she didn't fit the profile, of someone who can represent us. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about her, being, arrested and kicked off the bus, and because she said, no, I'm not gonna get off this bus. My feet hurt. I'm pregnant. My fucking feet hurt, and I'm not gonna go to the back of the bus. I'm not gonna do it. But we don't hear about that story. We don't hear about that brave young Black woman little girl, because she was a little girl, pregnant, barefoot and pregnant, you know, and said, I'm not getting off this bus, and I'm not going to go sit in the back of the bus. I'm not going to do it. But we hear about Rosa Parks, and we need to hear about it. We need to hear about Rosa Parks too, you know. But we have to get out of this mindset of, well, they don't fit the, they fit that stereotype. I mean, people are really clowning Joshua Brown for the shit that he was wearing. I can't understand that. Fuck that shit. He was doing something that most of us wouldn't even have had the courage to do. Like me would have had the courage, and I'd have been mad dogging that bitch Amber Guyger the whole motherfucking time that I was in that motherfucking courtroom. I'd have made motherfuckers want to kill me. You know what I'm saying? And I just want y'all to know, hey, yeah, Trayvon died, but Trayvon didn't give a fuck, because Trayvon gonna stand up for his people and what's right all day, every day. That's what Trayvon is gonna do. Trayvon don't give a fuck about how other people feel about it, including his own people that want to go against what the fuck I'm saying. Now, when I'm talking to my people, I am not advocating, to go out and start race wars, and to go out and, start all these, issues and problems and hating on people and having attitude. Be nice to people. You know, your coworkers, you have to be able to communicate with your coworkers. You have to be able to be nice to people and talk to people and, be friendly towards people. But we have to understand, we as a Black community, we have to come first, and we have to place ourselves first. And I know that's hard for us to do, especially when we're seeing other Black people who are not getting with the program and not doing the things that we should be doing for our communities, because we're brainwashed. So it's difficult and it's discouraging, because I get discouraged all the time, but it's something in me and my spirit that will not kill it, that will not let me die like that. Because I feel like if I can reach one person, if I can get one person or two persons or five persons, you know what I'm saying? Then to me, it's worth it. I've done my part. I've done what I was supposed to be doing. You guys, make sure you guys thumbs up, family. Make sure you guys thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. It's very important, family. So press that subscribe button and press that thumbs up. Very important that you guys press that thumbs up, because when you guys do that, you're attracting other people to my station. But yeah, Kizay, yes, from Roots, how we do it is by doing what we're doing right now. We have to be able to congregate together and start changing the way we think. Because again, when we're separating ourselves, our minds are going in different directions, and we're, our minds are not on loving our own. We are over here fighting our own. You know, I was looking at a video a couple of weeks ago of this. You know, it's a place where you can go to get their nails done. It's a nail salon and where they get their nails and their fingers and their toes. And I'm sure y'all, yeah, you women, y'all know about that. You know what I'm saying? And our women love to pamper themselves, and we should pamper ourselves. Yeah, my older brother, he goes and get his nails and toes done, and he's a masculine ass dude. Yeah, he ain't nothing gay about my brother at all. You know what I'm saying? But he goes and get his nails done too. So we should be pampering ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have the time. Because when I'm off, I'll be like, yo, I could use a pedicure. Though. I mean, I could, use a pedicure, but women love doing this for themselves. They love to go and get their nails and feet done. But we go into all these Asian people and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because they like to capitalize on the black dollar. You know what I mean? They like to capitalize on it. Get that black dollar. You know what I mean? But we over here going to these Asian spots. And giving our hard-earned money to these people who don't like us. A lot of them do not like. They like our money, but they don't like us. And I'm looking at this video of the owner. He over here, you know, holding, one of the customers' children hostage, and hitting, one of the women, and throwing, that stuff that they soak, the combs and shit in, poured some of that shit in her face. I'm looking at this like, wow. But yet we still going to these bitches. We still going to these motherfucking salons. We still supporting. And a couple of days after that, we had some black advocates that went out to that place of business and confronted these owners, these Asian owners, and said, "Hey, you can't be beating up on our women and our children. You can't be doing these type of things. We will shut your shit down. You cannot treat our people like this, who are giving you their hard-earned money. They ain't even paying bills. They over here getting their feet and nails done before they even pay their bills. And you over here treating our women like this? No, that's not okay." You had a black woman who jumped in those black men's faces and told them how fucking stupid they were and to get the fuck out of there and don't be fucking up her motherfucking program. Now, they're out there for the black women. Those black men were out there for the black women, standing up for them, saying, "No, you ain't gonna be treating our black women like this." And you had a black woman out there cussing them out and going off on them and telling them how wrong they were and cussing them out and calling them all kind of fucking names and everything in the book. Do y'all not see the destruction in that and how destroyed we are? If anything, you should have just kept your motherfucking mouth shut, sis. I mean, damn. You should have just kept your fucking mouth shut. You shouldn't even have said anything. At the end of the day, your ass is gonna still take your ass to that same fucking salon that's doing all of us wrong, but you gonna sit up there and go off on the very people that's trying to make change for you. But we have this slave mentality that has got to go. But you know what, family? A lot of us are waking up. A lot of us are rising up and being able to say, you know what? Mm-mm. We got to get out of. We got to get out of this way of thinking. Right. Those black women made them look stupid. Oh, brainwashed. Yeah, that's right. And I'm so sick and tired of our black people making us look stupid. Like Botham John's brother. You got all these people making videos and talking about the injustice. You got those black women out there upset that this bitch only get 10 years. And what does Botham John's brother do? He runs up and hugs this murderous bitch who murdered his own brother in cold blood. How do you do that? How do you do that? And I'm sorry, family. You know, a lot of foreign blacks, they'll never be able to understand. They're not ADOS. You know what I'm saying? They will never truly understand what American black people have gone through in this country. They'll never get it. Even though this tragic thing happened to them, they'll never truly understand or get it. And they'll, because when even in the trial, when they were talking about Martin Luther King and how Amber Guyger was in text message was disrespecting Martin Luther King, you know, and look at all these black people, over here, for this Martin Luther King parade and whoop de whoop de whoop and da 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 da. You know, you had Amber Guyger, this bitch was over here texting and talking about that we need to pepper spray these people and these black motherfuckers. We need to pepper spray them and shit like that. She's making jokes and shit about it. I'm sorry, family, but other groups of people, other black people that come from other places will never truly understand what American black people have gone through in this country. Would never understand that. But in the same breath, we can coddle this bitch and sit up there and give her hugs and feel sympathetic towards her because her life is ruined now. Now she just took an innocent man's life away from him for no reason at all. He didn't do a damn thing, but we have to comfort her. I agree, Nick. Yeah, yeah. We're all dummies. Yeah, you're right. Because we're the same people, but again, we've been separated. From we separate ourselves. You have some of us calling ourselves Haitians. You got some of us calling ourselves American blacks. You have some of us calling ourselves Jamaicans. The reality is, we're all the same people. Now, I'm not saying we're not the same as those Nigerians and all those Africans. We're not the same as them. You know what I'm saying? We are different people from them. Let's get that straight. But Jamaicans and Haitians and yeah, we're all the same people. But we separate ourselves, and it's sad. And you're at D. Collins. The police are the ultimate predators in America for blacks in America. Absolutely. And if you know where police stems from, where that whole system even stems from, it stems from slavery. Slave catchers that would go out and hunt, runaway slaves, hunt them down. Now we have slave catchers, and you have a lot of, excuse me, if you notice, a lot of the police officers who started the policing were Irish people, because a lot of the Irish people, came from other parts, came from Ireland and other parts of the world to come here because they were given money. A lot of people, y'all don't know that America paid other white people from other countries to come here. They got money to come here and they got land to live on and to basically, have slaves and to treat us like crap. And a lot of Irish people who were the lowest on the totem pole of white people, they were like the lowest of white people. You know what I'm saying? But they were used to police us, to help, enslave us and to help to keep us docile and, and shit like that. Yeah. Hmm. So that's where, we get the whole, police thing from and all that kind of stuff. It's all from slavery. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Nico. I appreciate, the love that you are giving. You know, again, I love my people, but when we have been separated from our people, and again, we're calling ourselves all these different names and, Haitian, I'm Haitian. My thing is, how the fuck you gonna be Haitian and black? Or I'm Jamaican and black. When I hear when I hear that, I'll be like, how the fuck you sound really, really dumb. But you don't know any better. Jamaican and black people are the same people. We just, different parts of the land, you know what I mean? The world, you know what I mean? And, we just do things a little different, you know what I mean? We the same people. So when I hear that, like I'm Haitian and black, or I'm Jamaican and black, I'll be like, oh, okay. Like my mama, she black and my daddy, He Jamaican. I can't with that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that just sounds so ignorant to me. Bless their heart. That just sounds ignorant than a motherfucker to me. You know what I'm saying? Because we're the same people, but we've been separated. And again, that was a strategic thing. That was something that was done on purpose. Because how do you subdue a group of people? Separate them. You pin the woman against the man. You pin the man against the woman. You pin the young man against the old man. You pin the mother against the daughter. You know, so and so on and so on and so on. And this is what you do. And we over there telling on our own people, Master, so and so over there reading. You know what I'm saying? That's what we would do. Because if we told on our own, we would get rewarded. That's why we have Oprah Winfrey's and Gail Kings and shit like that, and out here, pushing our own people under the bus. We got R. Kelly that's in jail right now. He's in prison right now. And my thing is, if he did those things, he needs to, if he has to go to jail, I mean that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna support R. Kelly. I'm not gonna throw my brother away. I'm just not going to do that, because if he did those things, you have to understand he was allowed to do them, because he had people around him that were allowing him to do that. And you think a lot of those family members and things like that were coming out now talking about he raped my daughter and he took my daughter and brainwashed her and all this kind of shit. You think that they didn't realize that they wasn't getting kickbacks and shit? They sold their children to that man. And when he stopped paying out and dishing out, then they want to say, well, nigga, we got you by, your balls. You know what I'm saying? And we would throw our own people under the bus. White people don't do this. White people are not going to throw their own under the bus. Look at Amber Guyger. She's guilty and wrong all day long, but you still have white people who say she shouldn't get all that time. She still needs to be able to enjoy the rest of her life. But us, what do? We're just quick to just throw our people away and like trash. And I just refuse to do that. Now I'm all for punishment. You can't be over here raping my daughters, and and even though I mean you my people and I love you, but you can't be around here raping my daughters and shit and thinking I'm gonna put up with that shit. I'm gonna whoop your motherfucking ass. You feel me? But the reality is that we are just so conditioned to just be so quick to throw ourselves under the bus, because a lot of times what we do is we will attack our own, because we can't attack anyone else. We're not allowed to attack anyone else. So we attack our own. And that's so sad. That is just really, really sad. Yeah. And a lot of, yeah, that's right, Nico. Yeah. A lot of us, we're separated by religion. You'll have, like you say, the Christians or, versus, the Muslims and, Islamic, people, the Hebrews. And again, you know, now all accounts, I am certainly not a Christian. You know, um, I do believe that we are the original Hebrew Israelites. I do believe that, family. I do believe that we are the people of that Bible. When we were in Egypt and we were under Pharaoh and we were slaves, that was us. That was us building all those things that we have in Egypt now, all those, tombs and all that kind of shit and pyramids. And that was us all day long, family. We did that. Our ancestors did that. So I believe that's us. But to separate ourselves from, because of a religion, I think that's some of the dumbest shit, because we don't have to agree on all of that. But to separate ourselves for religion's sake, yeah, that's pretty pathetic. But you have to understand all these things are used to separate us. It's done on purpose. It's done on purpose. And the way society was set up and the way that they structured how to keep us confused and docile and fucked up and brainwashed, you have to understand your enemy is going to always be 10 steps ahead of you. Your enemy does not sleep. It is always on their brains and in their minds on how to keep you confused and keep them on top and to keep you down. They are never going to rest. They're never going to rest. But we have to do the same thing, family. We have to start coming together. And here's the thing: how you can break a lot of this way of that we're treated is by simply coming together, because unity and numbers mean something. You are a threat when you are all coming together. You are a major threat. And that's what we have to understand, and that's what we have to start doing. And this is why when we all migrate and congregate together, when I'm on, and I'm looking at different pages of, black people who are in support of other black people, you know, when we're keeping in contact with those people, we're able to exchange knowledge. We're able to exchange truth. We're able to be able to, come together and be able to come up with ways to be able to come out of this slavery that we're in. Nico, yeah, you know what? You have to understand, you're gonna always have, you know, um, you know, people in every group that are going to be destructive. You have some Hebrew Israelites who think that it's okay to rape. You have some Hebrew Israelites who think that, yeah, that all these different, because personally, no, I don't think that Latino people are Hebrew Israelites. I don't. And those Native American people that we see that look like Europeans, no, those are not a real Native Americans. But that's a whole nother. I'll be here all day. You know what I mean? But those are what you call $5 Indians. They are not Hebrew Israelites. Not. Those are white people who have taken our heritage and claiming it for themselves and calling themselves Native Americans. That's what that is. You know, but yes, real Native Americans, which is people that look like me, who are the real quote unquote Native Americans, the original people of this land. But you have to understand, we do have people that are in Africa that are our people. And a lot of those people are the ones that they're putting AIDS on and saying that they have AIDS, and they can't get clean drinking water. Those are our people. They call them Africans, but those are our people. But then you have other Africans who are not our people. You have Nigerians and things like those are not our people. Those are not our people. And I know that we think that they are our people, because anything that has melanin, we think automatically, oh, white people will say, oh yeah, they're black, so we're all the same. We all came from Africa, and that's just not so. That is not so. And no, not every African is our people. But I agree with you. Those Mexicans and those quote unquote Mexicans and those quote unquote Native American people with straight ass hair and shit like that, no, those are hybrids. They are not Hebrew Israelites. They are not Hebrew Israelite people. They are swagger jackers, is what they are. And you do have a lot of um, Israelite camps who are promoting the mixing of these heathens. And all I can say to those groups is whoa, because you over here trying to incorporate heathens into our history. And we should not be doing that. We should not be incorporating heathens into our history. Pixie Glam. I agree with you. I agree with you so much on that. I'm not against immigrants, but I feel like Botham's brother put an additional target on our backs. People's lives are at the risk, and they are hugging, forgiving, and then going back home and leaving us. You hit it right on the nail, sis. You hit it right on the nail. I can't. You said it all right there. You said it all right there. That's beautiful. Because we as American blacks, excuse me, we as American blacks, no, we don't have anywhere else to go. They can come out here, make all the money, and then go back home, build up, a mansion where they come from. You know what I'm saying? And just leave us here in the dust. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that's what a lot of people do. They come out here, get all this money, and then they can go home at the end of the day. but they're leaving an impression on other blacks and other, not only black people, but other people, that it's okay to just continue to mistreat us. That's right, black empowerment. Those fake Native Americans are Mexicans and Caucasians. Absolutely. Because you have to understand, Mexican people are quote unquote hybrids. They're a hybrid race, meaning they were a created race. And all a created race is just a mixture of all these different people. You have to understand, a lot of Mexican people are a mixture of quote unquote African people, it's African, white, Chinese, and every other and a little bit of every other goddamn thing. And that's how you get the Mexicans. The Mexicans, they're mixed. They're a mixed group of people. Or they're a hybrid group of people. And yeah, a lot of them do classify themselves as Native American. They did go under the classification of being Native American, and even until this day, you can look at them and clearly see that you are not the original Native American. People that look like me are. We're the original Native Americans. If you look at me, you're looking at a Native American. Me too, D. Collins. I was in total disbelief when, yeah, they hugged that woman in court. When you had the judge of all people get up there, a black judge get up there with her mammy ass, give her Bible, her personal Bible, y'all, and hugged her. Botham John's brother, I can't even say his name, y'all. I don't even want to I don't even want to recognize Botham John's brother. I don't even want to even say his name. I just don't. I don't understand how Botham John's brother can become a face of forgiveness, but all the while, Botham John is the one who's dead. But here go white people putting Botham John's brother on a poster. Forgive, love, calm down, black people. If that's not a fucking slap in the face, and when are we gonna wake up, family? When are we gonna wake up out of this state that we are in? Black empowerment. That's right. It's just another agenda that the powers that be is orchestrating. And all of this is set up. That's why they have to bring in the Al Sharptons, Jesse Jacksons. They got to bring it in to keep us docile, because here's the thing. Martin Luther King, for a long time, he was, quote unquote Christian, now whether he was or whether he wasn't, you have a lot of people who say that he wasn't a Christian, but that's, a whole nother topic. But he preached that. But if you really listen to a lot of his sermons, he didn't read out of the Bible. He was talking about, how he was a Christian and all this type of things, but he never really actually preached, and he didn't really give the word from the Bible, if you really think about it. But here's the thing about Martin Luther King that a lot of people tend to kind of shove under the rug. Yes, Martin Luther King was an advocate for everybody coming together, unity of all races, and things of this nature. He was an advocate for that. But personally, I think he was used to be able to, again, keep a lot of us docile, a lot of black people docile, and not rise up and not fight. He was just used to calm people down. But something went wrong because before Martin Luther King was killed, he was starting to speak truth, family. Martin Luther King was starting to tell his people that, hey, guess what, people? You black people are the original people of America. This is your land. They tell you that you came from Africa. They tell you that they sent all those ships out there to get all those black people to come over here and to enslave you. Now, that some of that did happen, but a lot of the people that were enslaved were already here in quote unquote Americas. We were already here when European people came over here and Spaniards and shit like that came over here enslaving us. They didn't go all the way into Africa like that and got all these millions upon millions of people. That's another lie that is told to us and given to us. And Martin Luther King was telling us this, telling us that how the white man had all this money that he was over here paying white peasants to come over into this land and giving them land to farm and to have slaves and to be able to work this land. But they used the original people of this land to be able to work this land because we were already here. So we knew how to till the ground and to work the land and to grow things. They couldn't do it. They didn't know how to work the land. So they used the people that were already here to grow that cotton and shit like that for us. And Martin Luther King was starting to speak that truth. That's why Martin Luther King was murdered and killed because he was a powerful man who knew how to um, um, connect black people together. And when you are a black person that knows how to connect black people together, you're very dangerous. You are dangerous. But as long as you are preaching docile, you know, don't rise up, you know, you can stick around. Because white people didn't like Martin Luther King while he was alive. They hated him, couldn't stand him. But who are the most people who love Martin Luther King now? White people. Because, and that was that one speech that he always gives. I have a dream that white people and black people are going to hold hands together and be able to fuck and make babies together. Because he had a dream. You know what I'm saying? And shortly after that, his ass was killed. But here's another thing for you. Martin Luther King, he didn't die up on that balcony. He died at the hospital. He was smothered. They took a pillow and killed him and put a pillow over his head and killed him and murdered him to finish him off. That's how hated he was. But he was starting to wake black people up, and he was like, you know what? I've been leading my. Basically what Martin Luther King said is that, you know, for a lot of years I've been leading my family into a fire, a lion's den, a fire. I'm paraphrasing, you know, but basically what he's saying is that I've been leading my people astray. I've been telling my people that we need to connect and we need to be one with the very people who have shown us time and time again that they don't like us, they don't respect us, they don't want us, they want us around to take our energy and to take our ideas and to help them thrive. But they have a hatred for us and they don't like us. Martin Luther King started waking up and telling his people the real. And shortly after he started acting like Malcolm X. And shortly after that, gotta go. Because as long as he's keeping us docile, cool. You know what I mean? You know, and Martin Luther King was just like a lot of other black people. You know, maybe if we love them, they'll stop. So let's love them, and just keep forgiving them but it hasn't worked and it's not going to work. And it's not going to work. It hasn't worked, not going to work. But they use people like him to keep that way of thinking in our brains. And once he said, you know what, family, enough is enough. I'm tired of telling my people and leading them into a fucking lion's den, like leading them into a fucking burning building. It's something on that order of what he said. You know, I'm killing my people. I'm leading them astray. And when he started preaching that, it's like, yo, he got to go. Gots to go. Yeah, that's right, Lewis. White people would not even follow Jesus if they did not paint a image of white Jesus. Yeah, that's right. You have to understand, imagery is everything. You can say, and it's so funny because whenever you say, well, how come Jesus is white? You're gonna have white people and not just white people and brainwashed black and say, well, his color shouldn't matter. But all the while you keep painting him as white. You keep portraying him as white. But then in the same breath, you'll say, color, it shouldn't matter. But it does matter. Imagery is everything. When I was a little kid and I was I was going to church, I could remember, a big white picture of Jesus, a white Jesus in the church. Well, when you see those things as a child, subconsciously, you're thinking that white people are better than you. You don't have to be told that white people are better than you. You see a white Jesus, someone who's supposed to say, died for all of us, died for our sins, and you see that, they put their face as the savior. So when you see white people, you think, oh, they're, your whole attitude changes, your voice changes, the way you talk changes, all these foolish ass things. Because a white person is walked into the damn room because we think, oh, there's Jesus. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. I snapped up out of that shit real quick when I start seeing white people for the demons that they are. You are a red demon. You're not white, you're red. Why do you think black people from the South call them fucking rednecks? They're red people. They're not white people. White people means pure. Names mean things, family. That's why we're called black, because black is bad, means dirty, bad. So they call us black people. But they're called white people because that's pure, that's good, all those type of things. But if you look at them, they're not white. They're red. But this is what they do. They like to change who they are. And they change who they are in history time and time again. They like to call themselves by different names and things like that to change who you are so you can't identify who they are in history. You'll have German people saying, well, my ancestors didn't do any of those things. We were in Germany. We didn't do any of those things. You're all the same motherfucking people, and you did it too. You did it too. All of you are the same people, but they separate themselves. Now I'm German. Now I'm Australian. Now I'm British. Now I'm French, and all these type of things. But they always put Caucasian at the end of it. I'm French, Caucasian. I'm German, Caucasian. Telling you, same people. But we don't think, family. We don't read, we don't think. We go, oh, they're just different people. Da, 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 da. No, they're all the same. Just like black people, a lot of black people like Haitians, Jamaicans, American blacks, we're all the same people. But we have been given all these names to separate us. Make sure you guys subscribe, press that thumbs up, family. Make sure you guys thumbs up, press that subscribe button. Very important. But you guys, you know what? I think that us communicating together and being able to have these conversations are a beautiful, beautiful thing. I think just having these conversations and just being able to, I can't tell you how you guys help to lift my spirits, because this is therapy for me. When I'm able to come out here and speak to my family and speak to y'all, this is what I consider therapy. I love just being able to communicate with my people. And here's the thing. I know there's other people that are subscribed to me besides black people. I have other subscribers as well, and I thank them. You know what I mean? But on this channel, Trayvon is gonna tell the truth. We gonna always tell the truth for what it is. You know what I'm saying? On this channel, you know what I mean? But I have love for anybody that has love for me, and we all should do that. But we just have to have priorities, family. Our first priority should not be to everyone else. Our first priority should always be for self, because self-preservation is always the key. And part of having self-preservation is having self-love for our people, for having love for our people, because us being a group is what's going to sustain us, not being separate and being away from us, from our own people. Thank you, Black Empowerment. I love you too. I love all of you guys too. And I want all of y'all to stay up, family. I'm going to go, I got my family over here like, yo, when you go here, cook. Everybody waiting on me to cook, y'all. I'm about to throw down. I'm about to make something, maybe like a meatloaf, some cabbage. I'm going to do the cabbage and green mix. I love cabbage and greens. I'm on this healthy kick now, but it's Sunday, so I'm gonna do a turkey meatloaf though, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and do a turkey meatloaf, uh, cabbage and the greens mixture. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you know some corn, or something like corn on the cob. Guys, I like that Mexican corn. What I do is I buy those whole corn on the cobs, and then I do it kind of like those those elotes. How the Mexican, you hear those Mexican people going by talking about elotes, and they putting all that chili and lime and all that kind of stuff on it. Those are so good. So I'm gonna do some of those for my family. They love that. You know what I mean? They love those things. So I'm gonna do that for them. Uh, you know, and it's just so wonderful talking to you guys. Lewis, let's see. First, Jay Z had after NFL deal was that we are past kneeling. Yeah, NFL chose to be sued instead of giving Cap a job. Yeah, and we should, you know, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, and the reason why I say it's tough is because you have to stand for something, and we are not in a position to rile up and just start destroying shit and going on. So do what we can. So a lot of us, our way of showing that our disgust is okay. Well, we're gonna kneel, and that shit ain't doing nothing. But it's more of a symbolic type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's more symbolic than anything. You know what I mean? Just to make people aware that we see what the fuck is going on. We see the hatred. We see what the fuck is going on with us. You know, and we have to keep spreading this. We have to keep talking about it. We can't just forget about it and just push it under the rug because in a couple of weeks, nobody's going to be talking about Amber Guyger. I will. You know what I'm saying? I'll be talking about that bitch. But other people are not going to be talking about it in a couple of weeks because it's just going to be shoved under the rug, like, oh, like all the rest of these, young victims like Fidel Castro's, Sandra Bland's, Trayvon Martin's, you know, and so on and so on and so on. We rile up for 1 minute, and then before you know it, Fidel who? And we need to stop doing that. We need to remember these people. So, like I said, family, I'm gonna need you guys to go and go get some of those candles, burn a candle tonight for Joshua Brown, because this video was for him. And we're gonna show our love to Joshua Brown. Again, Joshua Brown was the guy who testified in the Amber Guyger murder trial. He was shot to death and he was killed in his apartment complex in the parking structure of his apartment complex. He was shot a couple of times and he was killed. You know, and we have to remember him. And this is just another, testimony of how we get treated in good old America. Look, I'm trying to get up off here. Y'all keep coming with some good stuff. All right, Hebrew Israelite Benjamite, how can your blood tell you where you're from if your blood tell you where you're from if most, if not all countries have been renamed and the borders moved and the people aren't the original people who live there now? Man. And again, this is all strategically planned. Those people that are in Egypt right now, those are not the real Egyptian. Those are not the real Egyptian people. Those are Arabs. You know, you know what I'm saying? Who are over there in Egypt right now claiming to be Egyptians. The real Egyptians are the so-called Sudanese people today. They have been reduced down. Egyptians, the real Egyptians, were our slave masters, by the way. They were our slave masters. Let's get that straight. The real Egyptians did not like black people. We were their slaves. You know, So let's get that straight. But they're what we call the Sudanese people now. When you see them, they are tall, dark people, tall in stature. And if you look at the Sudanese people, they're dark, they're tall in stature, but those are the original Egyptians of that Bible, the Sudanese people today. Their names have been changed. But with that, family, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I'm gonna start reading these comments. you know, um, a lot of those Egyptians, yeah, they are what you say, Ottoman Turks. They are Egyptians. They're mixed up people. They are European people. Absolutely, I agree with you. They're all a mixture of different things, you know, uh, but they are not the original people of the land. No, they are not. That's right, sweetheart. I love you, K Love. I love you, family. I want you guys to make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Press that thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And family, it's so wonderful to talk. And like I said, this is how we keep things going is by communicating. Love you, brother. Love you, Hebrew Israelite, Benjamite. Nothing but love for my family. Let's stay up. Let's continue to support each other. Let's continue to show love for one another and just to continue to empower our people. And I love you, family. Make sure you guys stay up, and I will see you all on the next video. Stay up, family. Peace out.